Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Well, puzzles go on even if ordinary life doesn't at the moment, and what did go on last weekend was the UK Open Sudoku Championship and Puzzle Championship, and the news from that is that Vincent Bertrand from Belgium won the competition. Tom Collier was second and I was the third, which means that Tom and I have both qualified for the UK Sudoku team this year. Now, there being a Sudoku team presumes that there is a World Sudoku Championship, and given that it was due to be held in October-ish in Shanghai, which is just downriver from Wuhan, I have a feeling they may take a different decision about whether there is a championship or where it is at some point soon. So we'll see. But nice to have achieved the qualification, whether or not it happens in a way. So Tom reached about 1,250 points and I was on about 1,060, I think, so some way behind him. Vincent was just a little ahead of Tom. And the points in this event were based on 5 different rounds. They were each worth something like 500 points and of an absolute maximum, no, probably not that many. You basically could work on a ratio of 6 points per minute if you wanted to finish any round. This puzzle I'm about to show you was the hardest rated puzzle in round 5, which was by Ashish Kumar. This is a clone Sudoku. It was worth 47 points, so to an expert he should be done in a bit under 8 minutes on this. So do have a go at the link under the puzzle and under the screen and see if you can do the puzzle at all, and if so, if you can do it in under 8 minutes, and that'll be a good way of judging your expertise. My ratio throughout the competition was about 8 minutes per point available, or sorry, 8 points per minute available. So I was, 25, 33, maybe 40% below the expert standard throughout. And this one probably took me 10 or 11 minutes, but I then found that I hadn't finished it correctly. I had some sort of problem with it. So let's see if I can do better today. And as I say, this is a clone Sudoku. And the rule is that, as well as the normal Sudoku rules, these two grey shapes are identical. And by a grey shape, I mean the whole diagonal line in both places. So the top digit must agree. Similarly, the second digit must agree. Now you could have repeating digits on the shape so that those two could be the same as, well, not as those two. No, maybe you can't. Maybe there's a reason you can't. Not sure. Anyway, those are the rules. The shapes are identical with the digits on them. And I'm going to give it a go and see how we get on. So do feel free, as I say, to try it first. So there are a few numbers that appear in the same kind of box, rows and columns. Those two ones mean that we've got a 1 in one of those two cells. And in fact, given that this is a clone with this cell, which can't be a 1 because of this 1, then we know this is not a 1, so we can actually fill a 1 in here. The same is true of 2's over here. This cell is a clone of the third one up, this one, so that can't be a 2 either. So 2 in this left hand box must be here. We've got a pair of 6's there as well. That's putting a 6. The only 6 in column 5 must be there. And we've got 1's at the bottom, but this time I can't rule out that this is a 1 because that could be. So it could be either of those two cells. And look, again, there's symmetrical 2's up here, so one of those is a 2, and it could be this one because that is cognate with that cell. What else have we got? We've got 3's here, so that's ruled out of those now. So there's a 3 up there and a 3 in one of those two. That one could be a 3. 9, acting opposite that 3, it must be a 9 down here, and a 9 in one of those two, and I think Symmetry is going to tell us that could be a 9. It's intriguingly symmetrical, actually. Now, what else can we find? Well, let's focus on these Which ones? One of these central ones. We've got this 24681 here. Now this cell is the same as this one. Now because of this one, it can't be 24681, they're in the same row. It can't be 9, that's in the same box. And this one can't be 5 or 7 because they're in the same column. So these two cells have to both be the same, remember, they now have to be 3s. That's all that's left, so let's get rid of that 3. So these two, well again, 24681, 3 in the row, 5, 7 in the column, they must both be 9s, and we can get rid of the 9 out of that cell. In fact, these two on the ends of row 5 must be 5 and 7 in some order. So that's a decent start. Now let's have a look at the other possible clone cells. This one could be it can't be 2, 8, 3, 6. This one can't be 9, 5 or 1, so these two are 4 or 7. These two, same sort of process. This can't be 3, 6 or 4 or 1. This one can't be 9 or 7. 2, 5 and 8 are still possible. These two, 5, 9, 2, 3, 8, 6. These could be 1, 4 or 7. And these two can't be 6, 9, 4, 1, 2, 3, 7. These could be 5 or 8. Now that's ruling out quite a lot of numbers from, for instance, those two cells. So this 4, where could a 4 be in this box? Well, given that 4, it can't be in those 3. Given all the number possibilities in those 5, the 4 can only be in one of these two top ones. It has to be there or there, and that rules out 4 from here. So this cell on the clone has to be a 7, so we can put the 7 in up there. This one below it, now that's sorted out the 5, 7 pair in row 5, so we can fill those in. They're not on the clone. That 7 can see this 1, 4, 7, for instance, so we can get rid of a 7. That 5 is in the same box as this, so we can get rid of 5 from there. So that's quite a nice bit of progress as well. Oh, and look at this 7 now. With that 7, where can 7 be in column 4? Clearly not in any of these cells and not in that bottom one, so it must be here. 7 there. I bet there's a symmetrical equivalent of that we could do across the middle. What is it? No, I'm not seeing what it is. I bet there is though. Maybe we have to work out the end one first. No, not sure. But anyway, that was a good start. Now we've got 6, 7, 9, 3 has to be in one of these two cells down here because it's not in there and because of that 3. So there's a 3 in one of those two. That means this one isn't 3 and we can place 3 in the central box there. 3. Yeah, that's good. Oh yes, this 8, right, we can place 8 just as we could put 4 into this box. 8 there must be putting 8 into one of these two because it's ruled out those 3. Now 8 in one of those two goes with 8 there, puts an 8 up here. 2, 5, 3. Does that 8 prove anything? No, not necessarily. That wasn't quite as helpful as the 4. Oh yes, it does. Look, an 8 up there means that this can't be 8 anymore. So that's 5. That's on the clone. So this equivalent is a 5 as well. And that is what works symmetrically. With that 5, we get a 5 up there. This is a lovely puzzle. I mean, it's beguilingly symmetrical, if you like. 5, 3, 4, 8. This could still be 1 or 6, but now this 7 and this 7, they're ruling out quite a few cells from down here. So 7 has to be in one of those two, and that puts a 7 up here. 7 down here must be in one of those two because of this 7 and this 7. Oh, and look, 5s now. With that 7 placed, those two 5s mean 5's in one of those two cells, and this 5 rules out one of them. So 5 can go in here. That puts 5 here. 5's in a pair. Oh no, in fact 5's here because of this 5, this 5, this 5, and this 5. The only place in this box is here, and that's fixing the 7 as well. So I think we've got all 5's and 7's done now, I reckon. That's nice. 9, yes, 9 has to be in one of these two, so it can't be here. So we've got a certain 9 in there. Excellent. What else can we do? So 9, 2, 3, 5. 2, 4, 7. No, I'm not sure what else that's leading to. There must be another good move to come, I would say. Now this one, oh, I've put 9 in two different ways, but these are a 1-2 pair now on the edge of this, in the corners of the central box. 3, 6, 7, 5, 9. Look, 3's are acting onto this box. They're ruling out all of these cells and those. So the only cell left for a 3 is here, and 9's are the equivalent down here because of the lovely symmetry again. So they're all ruled out, and this is a 9. That puts a 9 up here and a 3, yes, down there. 2 now, no, not 2. 2, 7, 1, 3, 5, 4. 9, that's an 8. It's a naked single now, effectively. And this one is a 4. So we've got 3 and 6 as a pair here. 2 and 6 as a pair here, and that 2, no, not 2 and 6, sorry, 9 and 6. Okay, 9 and 6 as a pair there. 5, 7, 1. This must be 2 or 8. This must be 2 or 3. Don't know here. 3, 2, 9, 7, 5. 3, 6, 8, 7, 5, 2. That is 1 or 9. Sorry, the 9's I originally put in there were meant to be in the corners. I got my notation slightly wrong. That's 1 or 4. That could be 1, 4 or 9. Look at this. The 9 down here is looking at this cell, so that's 2 or 8. So we've got a 2, 8 pair there. We can put in 9 there. Get rid of the 9 there. The 9 in the top row must be here. Keep on hitting the wrong. Right, 9 there. That's a 1 or a 4 now. It must be a 1 because there's a 4 below it. So that's 4, that's 1. Now we can fix the 2, 1 in the central box. That's fixed this number on the clone. 4 there and 4 there. Oh, brilliant. So we can finish off that column with 2, 3. That's now an 8. And look at that. It's just coming now. 3 there. That 3 fixes the 3, 6 pair at the top. This is a 9. Sorry, I didn't write that in right. And that fixes the 6, 9 pair at the bottom. Excellent. And this 2 has resolved the last clone cell, obviously. That's an 8. And I think the rest of it is just regular Sudoku elimination. We can just finish it off based on whatever must go in now. That's got to be a 4, I think. Yeah, 2, 1 over here. What a lovely puzzle. The symmetry of this puzzle is amazing. I have a feeling that if we just look at it now we've finished, we might see that every 8, for instance, is opposite a 4. So that 8 is opposite that 4. I'm talking in terms of rotational symmetry. I think the whole puzzle has been designed so that it would kind of solve in this opposite manner. Yeah, every 8 is opposite a 4. All the 6s are perfectly symmetrically opposite each other. That's the kind of central digit. I mean, what a lovely puzzle this is. I really love how that acted together. I wish I'd seen the symmetry on the day itself when something went wrong and I ended up trying to juggle a 6 and an 8 between those two cells and it just didn't work. I don't know what I'd done wrong earlier, but certainly plenty of wasted time on my score there. But it's a lovely puzzle, really interesting. I do hope the UK Puzzle Association will publish the puzzles from the competition because they were really good. Round 3, as we've mentioned before, was by Sam, round 4 by David, and round 5 was by Ashish Kumar. Round 2 was Zuzana Hromtseva, and every puzzle, frankly, on the day that I had to go at was an excellent one. So, most enjoyable. Thanks very much for watching with us, and do, if you have some more time available than usual, do go back through our archive or pop over to Patreon if you're sponsoring us, or try one of our new apps. Please go ahead. And lovely to see you. Hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.